All right, buckle up, everybody. We're heading to Japan today.
Sounds fun.
We're diving deep into a traveler's online diary.
Okay.
6 days.
Yeah, 6.
Solo adventure through Omori and Hokkaido.
Nice.
But this isn't just like, your typical itinerary rundown. We're talking like vivid descriptions of the culture, food that'll make you hungry, transportation tips, even some history sprinkled in.
What's really cool is how this diary captures that like solo travel feeling, like all those unexpected moments, the stuff you won't find in a guidebook, you know?
Yeah, totally. That's exactly what we're aiming for today, bringing this whole journey to life for you guys. Like, picture yourself there.
Mm-hmm.
The sights, the sounds, the tastes, all those little things that make you go, whoa, I gotta add that to my travel list.
Think of it like a virtual trip where your guide's pointing out the coolest stuff, adding some context.
Exactly. So our traveler, they kick things off getting inspired by, get this, TV.
It's wild how much media can shape what we want to see. In this case, it was 2 shows. One about train rides.
Oh, nice.
With stops for drinks along the way.
Very leisurely.
And another one all about the Tsugaru region's music and food.
Oh,
those local specialties.
It's a good combo. So we got a planner here, someone who sees something they like and then actually goes for it. And right away, they're tech savvy, using mobile Suica for the first time.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, that's like a digital payment system for transportation. Huge in Japan.
Yeah, Japan's amazing at making tech part of everyday life. It's not just for trains. You can use it for buses, vending machines, even at convenience stores. It's like technology just makes everything smooth and easy there.
It sounds so futuristic. But here's where things get interesting. Our traveler hits a snag. Turns out, mobile Suica isn't accepted everywhere.
Oh.
Real-world travel lesson right there.
For sure. That's a good point about high-tech places.
Yeah.
Even if it's super convenient, you can't always count on it. Gotta have backups, be ready to adjust no matter how techy you are.
So true. So let's get into the Aomori part of the trip. First stop, the Neputa Museum in Goshogawara. It's got these massive illuminated floats they use in the Neputa Summer Festival.
I've seen pictures. They're incredible.
Oh, yeah. And get this, our traveler has been there before.
Oh, wow.
But they're still just blown away by how huge and artistic those Neputa are.
I can see that some things are just so impressive, they stick with you.
Yeah. It shows you how powerful those traditions are. Next up, our traveler has a close call to catch the famous stove train.
The stove train?
Yeah, imagine a vintage train car heated by a wood-burning stove. Perfect for a snowy winter day. But they almost missed it because of a delayed Shinkansen, the bullet train.
Oh, no.
Yeah, talk about a travel heartstopper.
That's rough. Shows you got to factor in those delays, especially with tight connections.
Yeah.
But also shows how determined they were to have that unique experience.
Oh, for sure. And they made it. Even got the full experience. Sipping sake, snacking on roasted squid. Those details really make a trip special, don't they?
Absolutely. Those little scented experiences make it all come alive.
Okay, now we're off to Kanagi, a town with deep ties to this famous Japanese novelist, Osamu Dazai.
Oh, yeah.
Our traveler goes full-on literary pilgrimage mode here, visiting his old homes, even a restaurant that was featured on that foodie TV show that got them inspired in the first place.
For those who don't know Dazai, he's a big deal in 20th century Japanese literature.
Yeah.
His writing is all about alienation, searching for meaning, especially in post-war Japan.
Yeah, heavy stuff, but fascinating.
For sure.
Even literary pilgrimages need fuel, though. Our traveler has clam ramen and a wakame seaweed rice ball. The verdict. Ramen was kind of meh, but the rice ball was delicious. It's interesting how tastes can be so different, even with simple dishes.
Food's so personal, right? It all depends on your palate, your background.
Right.
What's bland to one person could be amazing to someone else.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's jump over to Hokkaido now. Our traveler is set on reaching Tappi Misaki, or Cape Tappi, known for its dramatic coastal scenery.
Beautiful area.
But getting there without a car can be tricky.
Yeah, even for experienced travelers.
But our traveler's resourceful. They find the Wan Taxi, a local shared taxi service. Love seeing that. Thinking outside the box, using local options to get where they want to go.
It shows they want an authentic experience, willing to step outside the usual tourist bubble.
They get to Cape Tappi and the view is stunning. Clear skies, panoramic vistas of Hokkaido, the Sea of Japan, the Shimokita Peninsula, a photographer's dream. But there's more to it than just the scenery. They head straight for the Suguru Kaikyo Fuyugishiki Song Monument.
Oh, interesting.
This monument, you press a button and it plays this iconic song.
You talking about the Suguru's Straight Winter Scene song?
That's the one.
Classic Japanese ballad, came out in 77. It's about a woman missing her lost love, set against the backdrop of, well, Suguru Strait. Beautiful, but kind of sad too.
So it's like a love song tied to this spot. That's beautiful and heartbreaking.
And here's the thing.
What's that?
The song made this place so romantic, people think Tappi Misaki is the actual name.
Oh, really?
But it's actually Tappisaki.
Yeah.
Crazy how pop culture can twist our perception of places, even their names.
That's fascinating.
It is.
It's like how people think of Route 66 and have this image of America even if they've never been there.
Exactly. It's the stories and images we build around a place. Speaking of images, let's move on to Hakodate. Unfortunately, this is where our traveler runs into some bad luck.
Oh, no.
They wanted to see the famous Hakodate night view, but strong winds shut down the roadway.
Oh, wow.
And then winter road closures meant no buses or taxis could get them there either.
That's a bummer.
It just highlights how important it is to be flexible to manage your expectations when you're traveling.
It's true. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. It's a good reminder that travel isn't always about perfect experiences. Sometimes it's about adapting to the unexpected.
Absolutely. And finding those silver linings, those moments of joy, even when things go wrong.
For sure. And sometimes the best way to bounce back from disappointment is with some delicious food.
Always a good idea.
Our traveler manages to salvage the Hakodate experience by going to this seafood izakaya called Kaizen Dokoro Hakodateyama.
I've heard of that place.
Izakaya are basically like Japanese pubs known for their casual vibe and tasty small plates.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like the perfect remedy for a travel setback.
Definitely. Shows you the traveler knows how to find the good in any situation.
All right, next stop is Sapporo, and it's a whirlwind tour. They hit all the iconic spots, the TV tower, the clock tower, even the former Hokkaido government office building. But guess what? It's under renovation.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a surprise.
Yeah, even in familiar places, things change. Imagine having this picture in your head of a landmark, and then you get there and it's covered in scaffolding.
It reminds us that travel is about those unexpected moments, about adapting to how places are always evolving.
It is.
Totally. And speaking of unexpected, let's talk soup curry.
Ooh, yeah.
Our traveler almost missed out on Soup Curry Garaku, this famous place, because of the line.
Oh, no.
But then they discovered the ticketing system, got a number, and settled in for a 2-hour wait.
2 hours.
Yeah.
That's commitment. Shows how far they're willing to go for an amazing meal. They're not just checking off tourist spots. They're finding those hidden gems, the local favorites.
And they spent that time at a nearby McDonald's. Talk about embracing local culture.
Hey, sometimes even the most adventurous eaters need some familiar comfort.
Right.
But it sounds like the soup curry was worth the wait.
Oh, yeah. Good reminder that patience and a bit of hunger can lead to amazing rewards. Okay, we've got time for one more stop before we move to part 2. Let's head to Otaru, a charming port city.
Love Otaru.
Our traveler's been there before, but they get a surprise. Their favorite, Izakaya Fujirin, has moved.
Oh, wow. Places change.
Right.
Even the ones we think we know well. That's part of what makes travel exciting, though.
It's like visiting an old friend and seeing how they've grown.
Exactly.
They track down Fujirin and have this heartwarming reunion with the owner. They reminisce about old times and get the inside scoop on what's new, including a recommendation for a rickshaw tour. But we'll have to unpack that in part 2.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, what stood out to you so far? What's got you feeling that travel bug? Yeah.
A lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
I'm really liking.
It's that resourcefulness for me. Like, they're not just following a guidebook, they're really diving into each place, you know?
Definitely. And that one taxi thing is a perfect example. Shows they're willing to try local solutions, go off the beaten path.
Right. It's like, show me the real deal, not just the tourist version. Okay, but before we wander too far off, let's get back to Otaru and that bar search.
Okay.
Remember, first try was a bust, hotel bar was closed. But then they had that tip from the Fujirin owner, Taki's bar.
Oh, right. And isn't it funny how the hotel staff recommended the same place?
Yeah.
It's like fate was pushing them there.
Those little coincidences, that's the magic of travel. So they end up at Taki's bar, enjoying some smoky whiskeys, good conversations with the locals. It's not just about the drinks, it's the whole vibe.
Totally. It's about immersing yourself in the place, even if it's just for a little while. It's those unexpected chats that can make the best memories.
For sure. It's like they're building their own travel community as they go. But before I move on, I had a thought.
Yeah.
You mentioned Fujiren had moved since the traveler's last visit. What does that tell us about their connection to Otaru?
It's more than just a casual tourist thing. They have a history there, Favorite spots, memories tied to places.
Right.
It's almost like visiting an old friend and seeing how they've changed.
I like that. And speaking of memories, there's one more thing they really want to see in Otaru. The illuminated canal.
Classic.
It's that picture-perfect scene. Everyone wants to capture it.
Yeah.
They mentioned they'd been to Otaru before, but never saw the canal lit up. This time they're making it happen. Shows how they're really intentional with their trip.
Right. Not just wandering around. They have goals, things they want to experience.
I like that. It's about seizing those opportunities. And speaking of which, remember the rickshaw tour? The one the Fujiren owner recommended? Well, even though it's snowy, they bundle up and go for it.
Gotta love that. And the cool thing is, they're not just sightseeing passively. They're listening to the guide, asking questions, absorbing all that local knowledge.
It's like a personalized history lesson on wheels.
Exactly. They're clearly curious about the culture and history. Adds a whole other dimension to the trip.
Absolutely. All right, well, sadly, all good things have to end. And for our traveler, it's time to say goodbye to Otaru. But with a feast, of course. They head to Ai's Sushi at Otaru Station for a proper send-off.
Nice.
We're talking a 10-piece omakase, which is like chef's choice. Lets the chef pick the freshest, most seasonal sushi.
Oh, I won't.
Plus, they order some extra sushi and sake it.
This traveler knows how to do it right.
For sure, celebrating the end of an amazing journey. But then comes the ferry ride back to Niigata. And wouldn't you know it, rough seas, high waves, delays. Not the smooth sailing they were hoping for.
Oh, no. That's where you really see their resilience tested. Unexpected stuff can pop up anytime, and it's how you handle it that shapes the whole experience.
But here's the thing, they still find ways to enjoy it. Big meals, onboard entertainment, they make the best of it.
That's such a good lesson. Finding those little bits of joy even when things are tough. It's about adjusting your mindset, making the most of any situation.
It reminds you that sometimes the trickiest travel moments can lead to the biggest personal growth. So they finally dock in Niigata, but they have a super tight connection to catch their train home. This is where all that planning, that time management really comes in handy. Buses, quick thinking, maybe a little bit of luck, and they make it just in time.
Wow, that's cutting it close.
They board in the train, settle in, and how do they celebrate? With a well-deserved whiskey highball.
Nice.
The perfect ending to a trip that was both carefully planned and full of surprises.
It shows that even the most organized trips can benefit from some flexibility, It's about finding that balance between structure and spontaneity.
Yeah, embracing the unexpected while staying true to what you want out of the trip.
For sure.
And now before we jump into the last part of our deep dive, I'm curious, what's really resonated with you throughout this journey? What sparked your wanderlust?
It's that willingness to really dive into the local culture that gets me. Like seeking out that one taxi, embracing the whole izakaya scene. Shows they want to connect with the real heart of the place.
Yeah, totally. Going beyond just seeing the sights, actually experiencing how people live. Exactly. And that literary pilgrimage in Kanagi, that's calling my name too.
Oh, yeah.
To walk those streets, see those places, like stepping into a Dazai novel.
Travel can be such a journey of discovery,
Yeah.
They're not just places, but ideas and history.
Absolutely. Although that stove train ride sounds pretty tempting too. Sake, roasted squid, snow falling outside.
Yeah. It's like slow travel, savoring the journey, not just rushing to the destination.
So well put. Okay, so we've covered the itinerary, the bumps in the road, the good and the bad surprises. What's the big takeaway here? What can we learn from this traveler?
I think there are a few key things. First, tech is great, but don't rely on it completely. Remember that mobile suica hiccup?
Right.
Gotta have backups, be ready to adjust when things go sideways.
It's like hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Exactly. Second, be open to inspiration from anywhere. Could be a TV show, a book, even a random chat. You never know what'll spark your next adventure.
Keep that curiosity alive, right?
And lastly, travel's not just about checking things off a list. It's about the culture, the people, the experiences.
Yeah, get off the beaten path, try new things, embrace those unexpected moments.
Those are the things you'll remember long after you get home.
I think we can all learn something from this traveler's adventurous spirit, that thoughtful way of exploring. So if you're feeling inspired, don't just dream about it, do it.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe you'll be the star of our next deep dive.
I like it.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through Aomori and Hokkaido. Until next time, happy travels, everyone.
Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed it.